Rick, you didn't have the same success with What Would the Children Think as you did with Speak to the Sky. Why do you think this happened?
In America?
Yeah.
Well, I think What Would the Children Think was just too different, for a second record, especially for me being a new artist, which I was in the States at the time. And, well, I still am, I guess. But I think it was just we tried to sort of show that there was more to my writing than Speak to the Sky, which I'm happy with as a song, but I think What Children sort of had more depth to it in that. But, when Speak to the Sky was released, I was getting letters from these sort of kids and that, and when What Would the Children Think was released, I was getting letters from all these housewives and that. So, I think it was just a bit too different for a second record.
From reading the crits you've had overseas, people get the impression that you're very much aimed at the young teenage market. Do you think there's a possibility of you capturing both an adult market and a younger market as well?
Well, that's what I'm hoping for, It's really the ultimate sort of thing, I guess. When I first went over there, the magazines asked if they could do a few things, and we've tried to keep it like no yucky stuff, we've tried to just give them news and that's it. And the first album was played on underground stations, so there's a chance, but I guess it's sort of going to fall the way it's going to fall.
You've just recorded a second album. Will that be much of a departure from what you've been doing in the past?
I think the songs are better. The album is a lot more, whereas the first one was a very subdued album. This new one is a much more exciting album, and I'm much happier with it as an album.
When you're in the States, what sort of gigs were you playing?
Well, I haven't been working live apart from TV shows in the States because of work visas, work problems, which is the big hang-up with sort of getting to America. But just before I left, the work papers all came through, so I can come and go as I please and work whenever I like. So the next sort of thing for me now is to get a backing band together and start rehearsing, and maybe tour up around Sioux Falls and work in the act and then start doing shows.
What sort of a band have you got in mind?
Well, there's the three guys that worked on the new album with me. Hopefully the piano player, a guy called Mike Moran, who I got on really well with and who's interested in coming to the States and that. Plus there's an Australian guy and, I've got who's living in Texas now. I've got sort of guys that I'd like to be in it. It's just whether it comes together or not.
There's a lot of rhubarb around at the moment. People sort of proclaiming that as far as Australia's concerned, our day is coming musically. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree because in America, I can't say so much in England, but in America I've found that they're just becoming more aware that, we play music down here on guitar, that, not just didgeridoos sort of thing.
As far as your recognition as an Australian goes, once you've established yourself overseas, are we likely to see very much of you back here?
Oh yeah, this time I've been away for a year and I don't want that much time to elapse before I'm back again.